and welcome to the Don't Believe the Hype show. I'm sorry we are running a little late today, but Valerie has been doing some construction work and picking things up. So I will apologize to all my audience and all our fans, yeah! So anyway, today we've got another wonderful and beautiful and special guest. All my guests are wonderful and beautiful. And her name is LaSandrea, have I got it right?
LaSandrea.
LaSandrea Hill. But before we get into the show, I would like to thank everybody that came out to our walk, run and support. We had a beautiful time. It was a beautiful event. And I appreciate you all for those who sponsored, those who gave. You don't even know how much you meant to me here at Purple Light Touch and our other ladies. Because every week we never know who is going to walk through our door. And I would also like to thank all those that donated to our work that we're having built at the moment. I am going to send out a special, invitation to all those. And you know what, I know Miss Ebony, you're not going to be able to make it. Well, I think you might not be able to make it because you're not even in Texas. But I'm going to send you something special just to tell you thank you. And I'm going to show you pictures of what we've been doing all week. So we are going to start our show, and remember, if anybody would like to sponsor our show, you're welcome to sponsor our show. We're always looking for sponsors because everything that we make through our show will go towards helping a woman or a young girl recovering from domestic violence, abuse, sex trafficking, bullying, any life-altering situation, even up to those who are suffering with cancer. So without further ado, we are going to get into our show this evening, and I can see you watching me behind the scenes. So Miss LaSandrea is going to tell us a little bit about herself. I'm not going to tell you much because who's best to talk about themselves than the person themselves. So let's get into our show. Tell me a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Hello, my name is Dr. Hill, the Transformer. I am a retired dentist. Retired my practice years ago after I started my family. It was a choice that my husband and I decided to make. I wanted to raise my own children. Also wanted to homeschool my own kids. I did that. They're college age now, but I call myself the Transformer because I truly believe that when you can renew your mind regarding the way that you see, acquire, and manage money, you can change your life. And so I've been, for years now, helping people to do just that, change their lives.
Okay, so I met you a few weeks ago, and you was telling me about what you do with the healthcare, and I found it very fascinating because I'm thinking, I know that not many people know about the healthcare. I know you talk about transforming lives, and we will get into that a little bit, and I might throw some bloopers in there, so that's how I work, so people don't think all this is scripted. You understand what I'm saying? Even though today I've got my phone, it's because we got no internet per se properly, being as I was having all that work done at the front counter. So that's why I've got my phone. So tell me a little bit about this transforming people's life through health.
Yes, when it comes to healthcare, how many of you currently have healthcare insurance? And so healthcare insurance can be pretty expensive. Transform your life through something we call health sharing, okay? Health sharing is an alternative to health insurance. It pretty much, you're able to pay the bills, pay the medical bills, instead of paying the CEOs of the health insurance companies. And the reason I'm really focused on that now is because open enrollment is upon us, and a lot of people are making decisions about health care. The costs are healthcare is pretty costly.
I know it's costly. So what's the difference between health insurance and healthcare?
With health sharing,
you
know, health sharing is a concept that's been around for about 40 years now. It's nothing new. It used to be mainly religious based. You had to be a certain religion to actually participate in a health sharing program. For example, you had to be a Korean, or either if you were a Mormon or a certain religious organization affiliation, then you could participate. But just recently the government released those restrictions, and now health sharing is available to the masses. Why health sharing is nonprofit? You know, we're talking about non-profit where it's more focused on people over profits. Whereas with insurance, that's for profit. And the question I have for you is, have you ever met your deductible? Persons who have health insurance, that's a question. Just think about it. Have you ever met your deductible? Because insurance doesn't kick in until deductibles are met.
And the deductibles are usually pretty high.
Yes, and 87% of people do not meet their deductibles. So if you're healthy, if you and your family are basically healthy, and you pay most of your medical costs, if not all of your medical costs, then health sharing is an alternative you definitely want to consider.
So, you said it was open up to Muslims and Mormons. Why specifically Mormons and?
Well, it was mainly just religious based. You know, it was an alternative where they could share in the cost of their health care. You know, and I remember when my children were born, my husband and I, we were a part of health sharing years ago. We went to the doctor. We presented our health sharing card, and you had to be. Because we were Christians. Yeah. We could participate in this form of medical payment of our bills.
So supposing I went and pretended I was a Christian, I would know I wasn't a Christian.
Well, when you apply,
yes,
the questions, you know, so you have the health questions, and then there's specific questions that would ask you about your beliefs. Do you believe this or believe that? As a matter of fact, before now, if you answered no, you could be declined.
Wow.
And so health sharing is a concept that's been around for years. So literally you could save 50 to 70% on your health care costs. The average for a family of 4 could potentially save almost $9,000 a year.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot.
You know what you can do with $9,000?
That's a lot.
You know how many Whataburgers you can eat for $9,000? That's amazing. So, what's the difference between that and Medicare?
Well, Medicare is...
Or Medicare, or whichever one, because I never know which one's which.
So when you think about Medicare, you're thinking about people that are 65 years or older, okay? And so with Medicare, they're able to get medical services taken care of when they're 65 or older. And even in that, we can offer a supplement to persons that have Medicare insurance. So our program, the health sharing, could be a supplement to their Medicare program. But they have to have Parts A and Part B.
So is there a deductible on?
That's a good question. And so, and the difference is, so think about with insurance. So there's a deductible. Typically the deductible is per person in a family. Okay. With health sharing, the deductible it covers the whole household. And we only have 4 options, either a $2,500 deductible, $5,000 deductible, $7,500, or $10,000. But that's for the household, not for each person in the household.
That sounds pretty good. It sounds a lot better than paying. So, so could I use my own doctor if I wanted to use my own doctor to do the health sharing?
That is a good question, because a lot of times with insurance, you have to go to a doctor that's in the network. You know, so if you have a certain insurance program, you have to find a doctor that's on that list. With health sharing, with Impact Health Sharing specifically, you can go to any doctor. You can go to your doctor. You know, you choose the doctor that you want to go to. You can go to any hospital that you would like to go to.
So, when you say that any, are you sure that nobody wouldn't turn somebody away because they're on the health sharing, or is that a definite that you can go to any doctor and they will accept you?
Any doctor in any hospital, yes. So you're provided with a card. I left my card in my purse. I was going to show my card. So you get a card. And so when you call, so how does it all work? So you call to schedule your appointment, right? Yeah. The first thing they'll ask you is, do you have insurance? You say, well, I don't have insurance because we're not insurance. You'll say, but I have an EDI number. And so on the back of the card is a number that lets them know that they're going to be paid for the services that are rendered.
Okay.
And we pay within 19 days. That's another difference too.
So, okay, I take medical, most of my clients that come through my door are medical.
Okay.
I don't do any health insurance because I can't be doing with all the having to keep on fill out all that paperwork. Could somebody come and see me with their health card, even though, or would they have to get a doctor's referral?
It just depends. So there's something you can call it pre-notification. So there's a number on the back of the card that your facility can call to find out if your services would be covered. And you're speaking of like massage therapy?
Yes, because I do medical massages.
Okay, and in some cases that is. So we offer therapy for mental health. That's a part of the benefit. Mental health, chiropractic, cardiac, respiratory, physical therapy, about 50 visits per year. That's included in our program. Well, as a matter of fact, we encourage health and wellness. We provide one free medical exam for each member. Okay, each per year. Okay, because we're wanting to promote health and wellness. Also, that includes blood work per member per year, up to $150. So we're talking about preventative care as well.
Okay. So what about prescriptions?
Oh wow. And I love this part because we offer wholesale prescription pricing.
Wholesale,
That's a big difference. I'll give you an example. We had a lady with her 3 medications. We were able to save her $299 wholesale pricing on her medications, and her premium was only $288. So with her savings, she basically was able to cover her monthly rate with our program. And so wholesale pricing is a lot better than just discount.
I know I like to go back to England, right? Because I was on dydrocodeine, lansoprazole, bisoconazole, Premium. I was on all these drugs. And you know how much all those drugs cost me?
I can imagine, yes.
How much do you think?
$300 per.
$300? Listen here, all those in England cost you nothing. I didn't have to pay for none of those drugs. If I take sick, all I want to do is get back on a plane and go to England.
Really? Okay.
Yes. Seriously. When I hear how much prescriptions cost in this country,
yes.
It's, even when I hear my clients come in and tell me that they have to not sell the houses, but they have to go bankrupt because of the cost of treatment. I know I am a US citizen now, but sometimes I think to myself, Valerie, you better not get sick. And if you do, you just make sure you got enough money for a flight to get back to England. As long as I'm on English soil, I can throw up all I want on English soil because my daughter's still there and I got family over there, because over here, I don't even know if I'd live.
Well, I'll give you an example. We had a lady, she was spending $258 per dose for a prescription that she had to have. And because money was tight for her, she was actually cutting her medication in half to help it to stretch. And we were able to get that medication for her for $2 and something,
Wow.
for her medication. I said per dose, but for the monthly supply.
Because realistically, it's not really costing a lot. It's just
they mark it up.
They mark everything up. You know what I'm saying? People like to mark up something because if they know you're willing to pay it, then they can mark it up to what they want to mark it up to. But it's also consumers that allow them to mark things up because they'll say, oh, I've got high blood pressure, oh, you're going to die. And knowing full well you ain't going to die. But who wants to die? Nobody don't want to die, right? So if they tell you that this is going to have to cost you $100, you see how quick you go into your bag to take out that money because nobody don't want to die. But if everybody was to say, okay, let me find an alternative, something alternative, then the government wouldn't be able to mark up the cost of all these medication. But people are so fearful that a lot of them won't even think about, let me find something alternative. You know what I mean? So if I had to go to a doctor's, do I have to pay a fee? Do I have to pay anything to go and see the doctor?
That's a good question you bring out. So there are provider fees. It's $50. But think about why most people go to the doctor. We provide free telemedicine. Unlimited telemedicine visits. There's no provider fee for that at all.
Okay.
But to go to a doctor, it's a $50 fee. And man, I left my card in my purse.
You know what? Go and get the card because
okay, hold on.
she's going to keep going on about her card.
Hold on.
Right? But what was you going to say? So yeah, she's going to keep going about it. And so if we don't let her get a card,
I'm sorry.
Right? We don't want her to know that she's going to have to go and get her own health insurance at the end of this.
Yeah, so you're provided a card, just like this.
Yes.
And it shows here the provider fee, $0.
Okay.
Telemedicine, that's the telemedicine visit is $0. Office visit is $50. For urgent care, $75. Emergency room visit, only $150.
So how much would it be if I wasn't in this program?
Well, they can charge you whatever they want to charge you. You know?
Jimmy, do we have a question? Because I keep seeing you smiling over there. There must be some jokes going on over there.
No, I'm laughing at you guys.
Why?
Because you are just amusing.
So, as long as I take that card to the doctor, I'm good to go.
Yes, as long as you're a member. And you know, and we make it easy to find out. So I'll give you an example. I met a lady. She was on her job, and she says, "Yes, I have health care." She said, "The only reason I'm working here is because I need that benefit." And she says she's spending $1,400 a month, and she says, "I have to have it because my husband has Alzheimer's and he's on medication." So she's paying $1,400, which is basically half of her paycheck, to make sure she had a benefit. And so when I met with her, I said, well, all I needed was a date of birth.
Yeah.
Put in her date of birth, and we were able to get her coverage for her whole family for $373 a month.
Did you hear that, people? $1,400. You know how many, you could go to Jamaica nearly twice if you came onto this program. I know I'm going to be looking into it. That's why I wanted her to come on here because, you know what I mean? So can you do a co-share? What about this? Is there a co-share or what is a co-share, should I ask?
So a co-share, when you go to the visit, you have a bill, and so you're responsible for a portion of that, right? Most companies will offer an 80-20 split. With us, it's 90-10, so you're only responsible for 10%. And as soon as the household has covered $5,000, there's no more co-share for the year.
And what what if I don't even meet my own $5,000 for the year? What happens? What happens?
As far as a co-share?
Or with any part of this program?
Well, we call it a primary responsibility amount. That's your deductible. You know, it's not insurance, so it's called a primary responsibility amount.
Okay.
And so if you choose $2,500, example, let's say you're in an accident and your bill was $5,000. Well, your portion of it would be the $2,500.
Okay.
And you know the company will pay the rest of that. Your co-share part of that would be 10%. So, you know, your co-share is your portion that you pay until the insurance kicks in.
And suppose my insurance never kicks in,
and
or will my insurance find it?
It just depends on the primary amount that you choose, because you can choose either $2,500. And so if you choose the $2,500, once that portion is paid for, then the insurance covers the rest of your costs for that year.
And can I go to my own doctor?
Most definitely. And that's the part I really like, because you can choose your doctor, your hospital, your provider. And
can I join anytime I want to join, or, you know what I mean, I'm not going to be like on the TV, what's your cost? $9.99. What's your cost? $9.99.
And so you bring out a good question, because see, right now for most insurance companies, this is open enrollment until around January, and we have no open enrollment. Well, I'll put it like this: open enrollment for us is every month, 12 times a month. So you can enroll any time of the year.
And there's not, you don't get, what if I joined and I didn't want to stay in because it wasn't beneficial, or, you know what I mean, and I feel like, well, this ain't really serving me, I prefer to go back to my old provider. Yeah. Does it cover everything that Medicare, health marketplace, does it cover everything that I would get from other people?
Yes. And if you notice on the back of the card, there's a pre-notification required. So for cancer treatment, you know, you just call it in advance. You know, of that. But for the most part, any medical, this is your medical card, you know, basically. And you notice here for specialists even, outpatient services, emergency room, and so forth.
And it's okay, let me ask you another question. Is this only for Texas?
Anywhere in the United States, except for 3 states.
Go on.
New Jersey, Rhode Island, and the state of Washington. New Jersey is about to decide, but right now those are the only 3 states that are not offering this.
New Jersey.
New Jersey, Rhode Island, and the state of Washington.
And the state of Washington, that's where all, is that where all the rich people live?
That's a good question. I don't know. I thought we had rich people here too. But
I know. Trust me, I know. We have rich people. Well, you know, like Washington, because that's where the, isn't that where the capital is or something like that?
Well, the state.
I mean, there was something over that side, but you know what I mean? So, I'm just reading some of your questions here, and I think I might have nearly gone through all of them. So, tell the people a little bit about why did you decide that you wanted to join?
With the health share?
Yes.
The cost, and so as I mentioned before, I've been helping people around the area of finance, getting educated on how money works. And so since 2018, quite a few years now, I've been helping business owners specifically increase their cash flow, reduce their expenses. And so a good friend of mine owns a business, 63 employees, paying $63,000 a month with health care for its employees. With our health sharing program, we were able to reduce his cost to $24,000. That opened my eyes. I'm like, is that possible? How could that be possible? And so when I delved into it, I realized that with a nonprofit organization, you know, putting people over profits, focus on paying the medical bills and not the CEOs of the health companies, because most of the monies are coming from the deductibles and the premiums that they're putting in. So when I saw that, what happened with my friend, the business owner, it just opened my eyes of ways that I could help other business owners to do the same thing. And we've been doing just that. So individuals and business owners can reduce their costs by participating in a program called Impact Health Sharing.
So a business owner can put it under, have all their employee under the one umbrella, under their health card? Basically,
Each employee will have their own coverage. So, and why is that important? Because you don't plan on being with a business owner or on the job for your life. So when you leave, you can take your coverage with you. You don't have to deal with COBRA. You know, COBRA can be real expensive when it comes to leaving an employer, you know?
Okay, so, okay, I see what you're saying. So, like if I've got employees, then they can just join individually. But if say if I wanted as a company to offer it to my staff, could I do that?
Yes, and we had a business owner that was paying $1 million a month, and we reduced his cost to $300,000, and he was so excited about that. He says, I'm just going to pay 100% of my employees' benefits, and even with that, he was still able to save quite a bit of money. So, with the savings, you can retain employees or even attract more employees, because think about it, when a person is choosing to work with you or this employer, what's the difference here? If you can offer them benefits, they'll probably choose you over this one, you know?
So that business owner, was he able then after that to, that employee walked away, could they still continue with that?
It's their policy, it's their coverage for their family.
So how long have you been doing this?
The company that I'm working with through Impact, now Impact has been around for about 4 years, but since May 9th, that's when we acquired the rights, if you will, to offer this to the masses. Exclusive rights.
This year?
So May 9th of this year.
Okay.
So they've been around for about 4 years. Impact is. Health sharing has been around for 40 years. They've been around for decades.
So how long have you been in the health sharing?
With health sharing, about 5 months now. 5 months.
You was talking like you've been in it a long time. I thought you was going to tell me you've been in it for about 15 years.
With health sharing, no. With Impact Health Sharing, 5 months, yes.
But you're so knowledgeable upon, well, mind you, if you're going to do something, you're a doctor, so of course you're going to want to make sure you know what you're talking about, you know what I'm saying? So say if somebody who was watching this, wanted to come and ask you any questions, is there a way that they can get in contact with you?
Great question. Go to my link tree, and the title of my link tree is Health Share Quote. That's it.
And if they wanted to call?
My number is there as well, but I'll give you my number. My number is 469-288-6064. But if you go to linktree.com/health share quote, you can actually get your own quote, just like that. And if you want to enroll, you can enroll there as well. But I'm
without
available.
you, without you, anyone can go on there and enroll. I'm just thinking about, you know, some of these seniors like myself, right, who sometimes
call me.
So that's what I was just thinking about, those who, no, I can't do that, I need to just pick up the phone and call.
And I'm available. I'm available. We have a whole team that can help.
Julie keeps on laughing after me. So, because, you know, some old people, old seniors don't want, they're like, everything's all technology, and some of them like to know, but then you've got some of those who are dabbing into the iPhone. I can't even control the iPhone, this is just my phone, you know what I mean? So,
but we make it easy for them, yes.
So that's what I just wanted to find out, if there is a number that if somebody didn't have access to the computer or to the phone,
call me directly.
If they could call you. And is there a time limit that you can take a call, or because, you know, some people might think it's 8 o'clock in Texas and 3 o'clock in New Jersey?
No, I work from the East Coast to the West Coast, and I'm available.
Okay.
If I don't answer, I will call you back, and people know that I do that. So
have you got another job apart from what you do with the health share?
I have other businesses, yes.
Okay.
And so and it's all around finances. Helping people with their health. And that's putting money in your pocket, because we can reduce your costs, right? Helping people with legal access to attorneys through to law firms if they need legal help. Okay.
Okay, not Legal Shields.
Yes, it is.
Oh, you are on Legal Shields.
Yes, okay.
I used to be on Legal Shields.
Okay.
They helped me with my divorce.
Oh, yes. We do some great things with Legal Shield. Yes.
Yes, indeed.
And then also helping people with their credit, you know, improving their credit scores business-wise or personal, and then getting access to funding, you know, if they need finances, anywhere from $500 to $100 million. We can help.
So if I wanted some money, I can come to you.
You can come to me as well.
And then afterwards, you start bounty hunting me. I'm only joking.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you one question. What does "don't believe the hype" mean to you?
Well, don't believe the hype means, you know, a lot of information, you can get information from anywhere, and they can flow from anywhere. And so you want to be a critical thinker. Don't believe everything that you hear, because information can be true, it can be not true. And you want to be able to critically think about the information that comes. So don't believe the hype, because it can sound good, it can feel good, but you want to check things out for yourself.
That's right. You what you said, you need to check things out
Check
for
it out
yourself.
for
Because
yourself.
sometimes people say something and it's so believable. And then when you take a stop and you think, hold on a second. But that's what people don't stop and do. Hold on a second.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like you telling me about, oh yeah, I'm going to go and get this health insurance, and then when I go on there, it might not be what I expect it to be, or one question and I get turned down because I didn't answer it correctly. You know what I'm saying? So for me, people need to, as long as they can know the truth and understand what it is that is out there.
Yes.
And that's one reason why I wanted you on the show, because like I said, I never knew nothing about no health sharing. And for me, health sharing is if I've got a cold, I'm going to pass it on to you. That would be health sharing. That would be health sharing to me. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what people would automatically think. Right, so there's a difference between health sharing and having, what was the word I was trying to, and having regular insurance.
Yes.
Because people don't think much of health sharing, that there is something that you can get.
Right.
You know, I mean, especially in the poorer communities. I know a lot of probably richer people will know about it, but what about those who are coming from the poorer communities that don't know anything about health sharing, who believe that I haven't got insurance, so I've got to sit down there and suffer? Because who's telling people about things that they can really have out there in the real world? Not many people, if that makes sense.
Yes, that's true.
And that's why I really and truly wanted you to come on the show today, and I'm going to try and see if I can boost it, just so people can get the understanding what health sharing is.
Yes. I certainly appreciate you allowing me this platform, Valerie. I appreciate it, and hopefully the information meant something to others.
And is there anything you want people to know about this self-sharing that I didn't pick up on, or you've forgotten later and you're going to say, oh, I should have said that?
Well, I just want to say that there is an alternative to healthcare. A lot of people are spending a lot of money on healthcare. There is an alternative. You don't have to pay the high cost of taking care of your family and when it comes to their health. And there are people that don't have health insurance at all. And when I ask, they say, well, it's too expensive. Well, I'm saying now that you can protect yourself and your family. There is a way to do so. Just call me, give me a call. Again, my number is 469-288-6064. And you can go to my Linktree at linktree.com/health-share-quote and find out for yourself how much it would cost to take care of you and your family.
So can they get a quote, and even if they don't want to accept it, they can just, like, once they go onto your website and they get a quote?
Right, there's no obligation. Yes, they can go. You can go directly to the to that link, and where it says get a quote. All you need is the date of birth of the oldest member in your family. Okay, the oldest member in your household. That is okay, and put that date of birth there.
So it's just so, I know we gotta go, but you just said something and I'm thinking, so say if it was me, my husband and my children, and I was the oldest one, what you're saying is the insurance would come through me?
Well, it covers the whole household, but the quote is based on your age.
Okay, so that quote, would that then cover my husband? Would it cover all the children? It would. So it's just one quote for the whole household.
Yeah. So when you put in your date of birth, you can have three options: for one person, for two people, or three or more.
Okay.
Those are only three options. Okay. And so if you have two kids, you would click three or more, and the primary responsibility, the rate that they give you there, it's for your whole household.
See, because that's what I wanted to make sure, because like I was reading it, if I got a quote that would cover my husband and I haven't got a husband, by the way, no two kids, but I'm just saying it would, because I was reading it, if I got a quote with my date of birth, I would automatically be covering my husband and my two kids and the two foster kids and the other two kids, but you're not saying that. You're saying I'd have to put in there my name.
I'll show you. So like I'm putting in a date of birth. I'm just going to pick the date.
Yeah, show the audience.
Okay, I'm just going to pick a date of birth. And if you go to that link I was telling you about, if you click on get a quote, and so I'm going to say October 20th, and the year I'm going to choose is, I'm going to choose
1954.
1950, here I'm in 1977 right now, I'm just going to go with 1977. Okay, and so we have the option that says number of people. I'm going to click 1, and I'm going to show you. So if that's one person, when I click get a quote, it shows here that the rate is anywhere from $130 a month to $268 a month. And what's the difference is the quote deductible, the primary responsibility amount, $2,500 PRA, primary responsibility amount, is $268 a month. A $10,000 primary responsibility amount is $130 a month, and that's for one person. But now if I click two people, okay, get a quote for two people, okay, it shows it's anywhere from $306 to $479.
And so the two of us will split the bill.
Yes, if that's your arrangement in your household. But now if you pick 3 or more, and this could be, you might have 10 kids or just 1 child.
Okay.
So for 3 or more, you can see the differences. I mean, it's showing 433 to 605.
Which isn't bad.
Oh my goodness. Yes,
That
very
is
good.
pretty good.
That's very
Because
good.
I know I was paying quite a bit.
So
I'm going to be calling you, but if I do 2, then I know I'm going to have to split the bill.
However your arrangements are in your household, yes.
It's just me.
Yeah. And I wanted to say too, the children are covered up to age 26. And so
Wow.
even if they're in college, you know, you might have a son or daughter in college or whatever, but they can still be in that program of the 3 or more.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear that, Jamise?
Girl, my other job, insurance, is fantastic. I'm so grateful.
And that's another
But
point
that's
too.
a good rate for people because they always tell me, oh, your job, I know you got good insurance. And I think about other people's insurance, I'm sure it's high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she brings out a good point. So even on your job, I would like to talk to your employer because we could probably reduce whatever you're paying, even if your amount is 0, because some people don't have to pay for it at all on their job.
Mm-hmm.
Your employer might be happy to reduce their costs because your employer is paying something for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go, people. I hope you got something from today, health sharing, and not what I put on the page. Well, I did put it on, but I'm glad that I hope you all got something out of what we talked about today. And if you've got something that you know that people need to know, please just call us and come on our show and share what it is that you've got, because health is wealth. People don't realize that health is wealth. If you haven't got good health, then basically you're down there. You can't work if you haven't got good health, and that's what people don't seem to understand. You have got to have good health so you can take care of yourself. It's like paying your tithes and offering. 10% should come to you, 10% goes to God or your husband or your spouse, and then 5% is supposed to go to your family. But if you're at the top of the tree and you're sick, how are you going to take care of everybody else?
That's true.
So, thank you for tuning in once again. I'm Valerie Kelso, the founder and CEO of the show, and I would like to thank Dr. LaSandrea Hill for coming on and talking to you today about health insurance. And Jamise keeps on pointing to me, telling me which camera I need to talk to, because I'm just letting you know. You know me, I'm going to keep it real, right? You know, I mean, that's how I am. I'm not going to fake, I'm not going to pretend. So she keeps telling me, point to this camera, point to that camera. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to take my eyes and I'm going to go around all the cameras so I know I've covered everything. Thank you for tuning in to our Don't Believe the Hype show. That's why it's called Don't Believe the Hype. Just
Wonderful.
keep things real. Have a wonderful and blessed evening, and thank you for coming on to our
Thank you
show
so much
today.
for having me.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
And thank you, Jamise, for being behind the camera. And thank you all for listening to our Don't Believe the Hype show.